wind whips at my harness, a familiar chill against my cheek as I guide the platform. My brass key, tucked in my pocket, grows strangely cold against my thigh, a subtle warning. I glance at the adjacent tower's 50th floor, my eyes drawn to a specific window. A faint, smudged outline of something too tall, too still, catches my eye inside the darkened office. The glass I just cleaned now bears a faint, greasy handprint, inexplicably appearing from the inside. I hesitate, my grip tightening on the platform controls. I try to wipe the glass again, pressing hard with my sleeve. The print remains, somehow deeper now, etched into the surface. The outline inside shifts, just slightly, like it's adjusting its weight. My hand brushes the cold key again, a small comfort. I push the platform closer. A mistake, wanting a clearer look at the impossible mark. The handprint seems to pulse, a faint, oily sheen spreading from its center, almost breathing. A low hum starts, vibrating through the platform beneath my feet. The tall shape inside the office turns its head, or what I think is a head, towards me. It's too dark to be sure, but the movement is definite, slow and deliberate. It feels like a gaze, even through the gloom. A shiver runs down my arm, despite the harness holding me steady. I pull back the platform, the key now burning cold against my skin. The handprint on the glass begins to fade, but the outline inside the office remains, now perfectly still, watching. The hum stops as suddenly as it began. That smudged outline shifts, a subtle flicker of movement I almost dismiss as a trick of light. The brass key now feels like a burning coal against my palm, even through the thin fabric of my glove. I grip it tighter, trying to steady my hand. Just then, Alara steps beside me, her eyes roll back, a wide, unnatural smile on her face. "Don't let it see you hesitate," she whispers, her voice flat and hollow. Then her eyes snap back to normal, the smile gone, as if nothing happened. She simply continues wiping a nearby pane. I turn back to the glass, the warning echoing. As I move the platform, a faint, almost imperceptible scratch appears on the pane I just finished. It's a thin line, extending from where the smudged outline had been, as if drawn from the inside. I press my thumb against the new mark, feeling a slight indentation. My glove catches on the rough edge. The smudged shape inside the glass seems to deepen, its edges becoming sharper, more defined. I pull my hand back quickly, a small jolt running up my arm. The platform shudders slightly, a loose bolt rattling beneath my foot. I hesitate, wondering if I should try to buff out the scratch. But the outline inside the glass now pulses with a faint internal light, a soft, sickly green. I decide against touching it again. The key in my hand grows colder, a sudden chill replacing the heat. I adjust my grip, moving the platform to the next section. The task continues. The figure's clearer now, a gaunt silhouette, its head unnaturally tilted, watching me from the adjacent window. The brass key in my pocket hums with a low, disquieting vibration, making my teeth ache. I shift my weight, a small tremor running through my arm. The hum intensifies, a dull throb against my hip, a familiar wariness settling deeper. I recall a coworker's distant, flat voice from earlier, their eyes rolled back, an unnatural smile fixed on their face. "Don't stare at the reflection too long," they had said, and a sudden, sharp pain lances through my index finger as if I've been pricked. A bead of blood blooms on the glass where I instinctively pressed it. I pull my hand back quickly, a faint smear left behind. The figure in the window seems to lean forward, its tilted head dipping lower, almost acknowledging the crimson mark. The key in my pocket buzzes harder now, a frantic pulse against my thigh, making my whole leg twitch. I try to wipe the blood with my sleeve, but it only spreads thin, a faint red film. My fingers feel cold, despite the effort. The figure's silhouette sharpens, its gaze feeling heavier, colder, like a weight pressing on my chest. I hesitate, my eyes scanning the empty hallway behind me, then back to the window. The key vibrates, a warning. The figure's smile, if it has one, feels wider, a silent pull. I press my palm against the glass, trying to obscure the mark, but the figure only tilts its head further, its focus unwavering. The glass feels colder now, too. Voice with sparkle, soft African, pitched crisp air. I'm already standing, my fingers brushing the cool metal of the filing cabinet. Its eyes, two pinpricks of light in the dim office, lock onto mine, and I feel an intense pressure, like a silent scream against my eardrums. The brass key feels impossibly heavy, pulling my pocket taut, a physical resistance to my gaze. My thumb traces the raised line of an old scar on my wrist, a familiar comfort that offers no relief now. I try to look away, but can't. The air around me feels thick, almost buzzing. Alara passes by my desk, her usual cheerful hum gone. Her eyes roll back, a wide, unnatural smile stretching her lips. "Don't look too long," she whispers, her voice a dry rustle. The glass remembers. Then her face smooths, and she continues walking, humming again, as if nothing happened. I blink, wondering if I misheard. A spiderweb crack instantly splinters across the pane, directly in front of me, radiating from the spot where its gaze feels most potent. I take a half step back, bumping into the filing cabinet again, the metal groaning softly. My vision blurs at the edges, the pressure building behind my eyes. The key in my pocket seems to vibrate, a low hum against my thigh. I hesitate, my hand hovering over the fabric, unsure if I should touch it. The pinprick eyes narrow, and the cracks deepen, spreading further across the glass, almost reaching the frame. I finally pull the key out, its cold weight grounding me slightly, but the gaze holds fast. The light from its eyes seems to pulse, mirroring the tremor in my hand. I shift my weight, a small mistake, and the crack nearest my face widens with a faint tick. The figure is no longer just watching. It presses a long skeletal hand against the inside of the adjacent window. Its fingers stretch, impossibly thin, reaching almost to the frame. I feel a shiver run down my arm, a coldness that isn't from the air. The brass key in my pocket grows slick, cold sweat clinging to its surface, mirroring the sudden clamminess of my own palms. I shift my weight, a small adjustment against the worn fabric of my uniform, trying to find a stable footing. A thin, viscous residue, clear but unsettling, streaks down the outside of my own window now. It wasn't there a moment ago. I lift a hand, hesitating, then touch the glass where the streak begins. It feels cool, slightly oily. A faint, sickly sweet odor reaches me, like old flowers left too long in water. The figure's hand on the other window seems to press harder, the glass bowing inward, just a fraction. I pull my hand back from the residue, a small tremor running through my fingers. The key in my pocket feels heavier, almost vibrating with a low hum. I glance at the adjacent window again. The figure's head tilts, just slightly, as if observing my reaction to the residue. The streaking liquid on my glass begins to thicken, turning a faint, pale yellow. I try to wipe a small section with my sleeve, but it only smears, leaving a sticky film. The figure's impossible fingers twitch, beckoning. Its face presses against the thick glass, a grotesque detail now clear in the dim light. The features distort into a silent, gaping maw, right where my reflection should be. The brass key in my gloved hand vibrates intensely, a low hum against my palm. It feels like it might shatter, a desperate warning against this sudden presence. I instinctively recoil, stepping back too quickly. My boot scrapes the metal grating of the platform. The platform lurches violently beneath me, a deep groan echoing from below. I stumble, catching myself on the cold railing. Above me, a vital safety bolt on the railing visibly strains. It groans under an unseen force, the metal twisting slightly. The face outside the glass does not move, but the pressure increases. A faint crack appears in the glass, a thin spiderweb spreading from the center. I grip the brass key tighter, the vibrations now reaching my forearm. A familiar ache near the old scar on my wrist. I try to steady my breathing, but the air feels thin. The platform shudders again, a deeper tremor this time. I shift my weight, trying to find balance, but my footing feels less secure. The bolt above lets out a sharp ping. The crack in the glass widens, a soft whisper seeming to come from beyond it. I can feel a cold draft now, even through the thick pane. The T pulses, a silent alarm. The figure's elongated fingers tap rhythmically against the glass, a sound I feel more than hear. A hollow thrumming in my chest. My hand instinctively goes to my pocket. The brass key inside becomes scalding hot, searing my thigh, demanding I heed its unspoken command. I shift my weight, a small mistake, and the heat intensifies. Directly beneath my other hand, a fresh, deep gouge mars the metal frame of my platform, as if a claw had dragged across it. I trace the rough edge, feeling the sharp newness of the cut. A flicker catches my eye. Across the gap, Lara stands at her station, head tilted unnaturally. Her eyes are rolled back, showing only white, and a wide, unnatural smile stretches her lips. "The glass remembers," she whispers, voice flat. "Don't let it forget what it holds." Her head snaps forward, eyes normal, smile gone. I hesitate, my fingers still on the key, now cooling slightly. The tapping from the figure outside grows louder, more insistent. A rapid staccato against the pane. The glass itself seems to ripple, a faint distortion spreading from the pressing fingers. I press my palm against the cool metal of the platform, the gouge now a familiar, unsettling texture. The key in my pocket pulses once more, a dull throb against my leg, urging me to act. I look at the figure, its shape blurring through the disturbed glass. Something is different now. The glass before me ripples, a slow, dark wave moving across its surface. It distorts the hallway beyond, stretching the familiar lines into something liquid and strange. I feel the brass key dig into my palm, its sharp edge a small, constant pain. My grip tightens, a reflex I don't question. The glass shifts again, becoming almost permeable, like a thick membrane. I hesitate, my fingers brushing against the cool, vibrating surface. It feels less like a barrier now, more like an invitation. A faint, high-pitched whine seems to come from the other side, a sound I shouldn't be hearing. I lean closer, my reflection blurring into the shifting surface. The key presses harder against my skin, leaving a red mark. I try to adjust my stance, a slight misstep on the polished floor. Suddenly, a small, dark stain blooms on the fabric of my sleeve, just above the cuff. It looks like dried blood, appearing from nowhere, smelling faintly of old iron. I pull my arm back, a jolt of surprise. The glass seems to pulse, a slow, rhythmic beat, pushing slightly against the air. The stain spreads, a tiny, dark flower opening on the gray fabric. I watch it, my eyes fixed on the deepening color. The key feels heavier now, a cold weight in my hand. The glass shimmers, almost breathing, its surface now a murky, swirling gray. I press the key into the glass, a desperate attempt to anchor myself. The ripples intensify around the point of contact. The distorted hand pushes through the now pliable glass, reaching directly for me. A freezing dread washes over my skin, a cold that feels ancient and wrong. The brass key in my pocket suddenly feels impossibly light, then snags on something unseen as I instinctively try to shift away from the reaching fingers. Fabric rips with a sharp, tearing sound, and the key tears free, falling to the floor with a dull, metallic clink. I watch it roll under a nearby cabinet, just out of reach. A searing, icy grip clamps onto my left arm. The cold burns, spreading rapidly across my skin like a brand, turning the flesh a deep, mottled red. I try to pull back, but the hand holds firm, its touch like frozen iron. My gaze snaps to the side, searching for an exit, a tool, anything. Elias stands nearby, his eyes rolled back, a wide, unnatural smile stretching his face. "The offering must be given willingly," he whispers, his voice flat and hollow. He blinks once, and his expression returns to normal, as if nothing happened. He just stares at the wall, unmoving. The burning intensifies where the hand touches, and I feel the cold seeping deeper, past the surface, into the muscle and bone. My fingers twitch, trying to grasp the key I no longer have, a useless gesture. The glass around the hand ripples, pulling inward, making the opening wider, almost inviting. It feels like the air itself is thinning, growing heavy and still. I hesitate, a small, wrong move, wondering if pulling harder will only make the grip tighten. It does. I pull back hard, a sharp gasp catching in my throat. The platform swings wide, jarring my shoulder against the cold metal frame. The reaching hand snaps back through the glass, which instantly solidifies with a jarring crack, a sound like ice breaking underfoot. A raw red welt burns on my forearm, where it touched me. It's a searing brand, already a permanent mark. I press my thumb against it, feeling the raised skin. The brass key, now bent and blackened, lies at my feet on the platform. Its warmth is gone, replaced by a dull chill. I hesitate, my hand hovering over the key. The glass before me is solid now, reflecting the gray sky like any other pane. No shimmer, no distortion. I bend down, my fingers brushing the cold, dead metal of the key. It feels heavy, useless. A low cough sounds from the next platform. It's Elias. His eyes are rolled back, a wide, unnatural smile stretching his lips. Some things, he rasps, his voice flat, are meant to stay broken. He blinks, his eyes returning to normal, the smile fading as if it was never there. He just stares at the solidified glass, then at my arm. I touch the red welt again. It throbs with a dull ache. The platform sways gently under my feet. The task remains, but the way forward has changed. The window is sealed. I adjust my grip on the safety harness, feeling the familiar weight.